Welcome everyone, and thank you for joining us for this live presentation of the G20 TechSprint 2021, the global competition on sustainable finance promoted by Banca d'Italia and the Bank for International Settlement Innovation Hub under the Italian G20 presidency. My name is Angela Barbaro, and I'm the head of communications at the Bank of Italy. I will be responsible for hosting this conversation today. First of all, I would like to thank our distinguished speakers. The Italy's Finance Minister, Daniele Franco, welcome here. The Governor of Banca d'Italia, Ignazio Visco, and Deputy Governor, Alessandra Perrazzelli, who are here with me in our studio in Rome. Benoît Cœuré, who is the head of the BIS Innovation Hub, and Andrew McCormack, who is the head of the BIS Innovation Hub Singapore Center. Before we get started, let me just remind you that we are live on Banca d'Italia's YouTube channel. The event is being recorded, and it will be possible to watch it again on YouTube as well as on our website, where you can also find all the information and contact details regarding the G20 TechSprint 2021 competition. Since there is no sustainability without inclusion, as you can see on the screen, the event is being translated in sign language. And now, with that being said, I leave the floor to Governor Ignazio Visco for his introductory remarks. Mr. Governor.
Thank you very much. Good morning and good evening in Singapore. I'm very pleased to share with you today the presentation of this year's G20 TechSprint initiative. The world is currently facing some very difficult challenges. The attempt to end the pandemic, the effort to eradicate extreme poverty, the fight against climate change, and the G20 is working intensely to address them by identifying and implementing shared, coordinated, and equitable responses. This year, Italy holds the presidency of the G20 at a time in which the world economy is slowly recovering from the devastating impact of the COVID-19 crisis. The Italian presidency aims at addressing this challenge by steering and encouraging global policymakers to strengthen cooperation and step up their efforts to promote a transformative recovery leading to a more inclusive and sustainable economy and society. In order to foster this recovery, both national and international policymakers must pay particular attention to two main factors: technological progress and climate change. The former is rapidly transforming our economies and societies. In the financial sector, in particular, new entrants such as fintech and insurtech companies are shaking up the market with new business models, new processes, and products. As a response to those entrants, financial services firms are looking to modern technologies such as machine learning and artificial intelligence to increase automation, deliver cost reductions, increase efficiency, and gain a competitive advantage. These technological solutions and the use of digital platforms have lowered entry barriers for alternative payment providers and pose new challenges for existing service providers such as banks or credit card circuits. These rapid changes are also affecting financial regulation and supervision, because digitalization, if left unregulated and insufficiently supervised, may lead to increased vulnerabilities and higher risks of IT failures, outages, and cyber attacks. The recent pandemic has accelerated our reliance on technology, and we have witnessed the potential of new technologies to provide benefits for consumers, but we have to keep working to contain the risks they may pose. Technology can also provide new and intelligent solutions to other main factors that is transforming the world economy: climate change. Climate change is increasingly affecting individuals in every single country to an extent that is likely to be even greater tomorrow than it is today. It is a global challenge that goes beyond the national borders, as greenhouse gas emissions are by nature geographically pervasive. The past 6 years have been the warmest on record for our planet. The number of disasters caused by natural hazards is rising, resulting in hundreds of billions of dollars of damages in 2020 alone. Human-induced global warming has resulted in these events becoming increasingly severe and frequent. Addressing climate change is therefore as urgent as ever. In this context, various sectors of the global economy are starting to become more aware of the roles they can play. The financial system is beginning to support the transition towards a greener economy. Investment funds are gradually reorienting their portfolios towards more sustainable companies, which have also proved to be more profitable and resilient. We are seeing some savers change their preferences, opting for instruments such as green bonds or social bonds. Central banks are also playing an increasing role, not only through their financial portfolios, but also through their actions as regulators and supervisors. Governments and legislators are working towards adapting frameworks and practices to address the multifaceted risks posed by climate change and supporting a shift to more sustainable sources of energy. However, while there is a considerable consensus on the need for climate action, much more can and needs to be done. Filling data gaps and improving firms' disclosure is crucial in order to correctly assess climate-related financial risks and to facilitate their integration into investment strategies. Reliable scenario analysis must be produced, and climate stress testing of the resilience of financial intermediaries should be regularly enforced. Central banks can participate in the establishment of a common framework to measure climate-related risks and to integrate them into their risk management practices. National governments obviously should play the decisive role with a more appropriate calibration of incentives for sustainable investment, taxation and regulation of carbon emission, and the removal of fossil fuel subsidies. A significant contribution to the solution of these challenges could also come from technological innovation. Technological advancements have always played a crucial role in the selection of more efficient ways of delivering services and products. They can certainly provide great support to the creation and sustainability of new low-carbon business models. To leverage on the potential synergies between digitalization, finance, and the transition to net zero emissions, the Bank of Italy, also through its new innovation center located in Milan, and the Bank for International Settlements Innovation Hub have organized, within the framework of the Italian presidency of the G20, an international contest, the TechSprint 2021, which we have just launched. This is a global competition in the form of a long hackathon where we seek out the potential of modern technologies combined with new data and other innovations to solve some of the most pressing challenges in green finance. We are inviting the international community of innovators, startup creators, developers, data scientists, and designers to investigate and develop the best solutions to some issues in the field of sustainable finance, which will allow us all to achieve better and greener economies. Initiatives like the TechSprint are essential in encouraging bright and often young individuals, as well as the most ambitious and able firms, to take up a challenge that is both global and very complex. Thus, these competitions are not only a way of bringing together people from the public and private sectors to focus on shared challenges, but it is also a way to put entrepreneurs and scientists in the driving seat, guiding governments and public authorities in the realization of the future of finance. As public authorities, we are approaching these initiatives with curiosity and with an open mind as we look forward to seeing what new technological solutions will be envisaged. In this spirit, let me conclude by thanking the participants in this launch event, and as well as all those individuals and firms that will take part in this competition. I'm confident that through ambitious ideas and the combination of technology and creativity, we will be on the right path to find the solutions to improve our fragile ecosystem. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Governor Visco. Minister Daniele Franco, thank you for making the time to be with us today. I know you are running on a very tight schedule, so please, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Angela, and thank you, Ignazio. Let me start by thanking the Bank of Italy and the Banca for International Settlements for organizing this important TechSprint initiative on green finance under the G20 presidency. The issues addressed by TechSprint share the same spirit of the three pillars of the Italian G20 presidency: people, planet, and prosperity. In particular, they share its emphasis on addressing climate change. The environment is indeed at the core of the agenda of the G20 this year. Protecting the planet is a top political priority driven by considerations of ethical nature. It is also a precondition for achieving a stable prosperity for all countries. In our program, there is a specific attention to sustainable finance, as testified by the recent establishment of the Sustainable Finance Working Group, which is co-chaired by China and the United States. As Governor Visco highlighted, in recent years, we have been witnessing a growing appetite for financial products that incorporate sustainable finance criteria, the so-called ESG factors. The available empirical evidence shows that ESG compliant portfolios provide risk-adjusted returns to investors that are equal, if not higher, than those of traditional portfolios. Therefore, sustainability is not only a fundamental objective to pursue in the interest of future generations, it can also represent a relevant factor of success and competitiveness for companies and investors. It is important that all firms, including small entities, can benefit from the opportunities of green finance. In this regard, proposals related to better connecting projects and investors will be extremely important. Yet, much still needs to be done to mobilize sustainable investment on a large scale. For instance, we must ensure that markets have complete, verifiable, and comparable information on sustainable investment to properly allocate resources. For this reason, the G20 has been active also on the issue of data. The Italian presidency has mandated the Financial Stability Board to produce a report on sustainability disclosure and climate data gaps, and has asked the International Monetary Fund to include the climate issue in setting up a new data gap initiative. In this regard, the projects on data collection, verification, and sharing, and those on analysis and assessment of transition and physical climate-related risks will be very important. The TechSprint project, being at the intersection between green finance and digital innovation, is also consistent with the objectives of the Italian National Recovery and Resilience Plan. The plan aims at promoting a robust recovery from the pandemic. It includes ambitious measures to tackle climate change and to complete the digital transition. Resources dedicated to green and digital investment represent about 40% and 27% respectively of total funds, including those of the National Complementary Plan. The overall plan intends to raise the share of renewable resources to 72% by 2030 and to provide high-speed connectivity everywhere in the country by 2026. The ultimate objective is to abate net emissions of greenhouse gases by 2050 and to move to a sustainable and competitive economy where economic growth is decoupled from resource use and is fueled by widespread and advanced use of technology, especially of digital instruments. In conclusion, initiatives like TechSprint that promote the innovative capacity of bright and technological minds to bring about contributions to key sustainability areas are of the utmost importance. Climate change is a global issue that can only be addressed with widespread innovation and with a coordinated effort at a global scale. This involves supranational institutions and fora. In the European Union, the Green Deal aims at providing a collective answer to these challenges. Close cooperation between countries and the international organization fostered through the G20 is also key to unlock our green future. Furthermore, climate change requires the public and private sectors to cooperate to speed up progress towards sustainability goals, leveraging on the contribution of the more technologically advanced operators. The effort of civil society is also warranted. Most importantly, that of the younger and more technologically prepared that will find the most effective ways to address challenging problems with far-reaching solutions, like in the case of TechSprint. I expect a vibrant and successful global competition with broad participation from a large number of countries. Thanks again for the invitation today, and good luck to all participants. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Minister, for being here. And now I'd like to give the floor to Benoît Cœuré, who is joining us from Basel, from some insights on the BIS Innovation Hub and its role in the TechSprint competition, and in the broader context of the global fintech community. Mr. Cœuré, please.
Good morning, and thank you very much to Governor Visco and to Minister Franco for leading G20 work and for hosting this webinar. While national governments are taking the lead in the global response to the climate crisis, there is an increasing and shared awareness of the urgent need for action by all economic players. Central banks see increasingly scope within their mandates to adjust their operational frameworks to reflect climate-related risks. It's also increasingly accepted that financial risks arising from climate change through physical and transition risks should be considered either alongside or within the more traditional risk categories. And as climate-related risks manifest in non-linear, massive, or irreversible ways after some tipping points, it is also increasingly recognized that urgent innovation is required to finance creatively the transition, the adaptation, and the risk mitigation. And that's where the BIS Innovation Hub comes into play. Established in 2019, the Hub's mission is to spearhead central banks' responses to digital innovation, to foster international cooperation, and to build partnerships with other stakeholders to fulfill this task. Reflecting the global nature of innovation and of technology, the Hub already has 3 centers across Europe and Asia. It has formed a strategic partnership with the Federal Reserve System in New York, and in the next few months, it will open 4 new centers. Our work program is built around 6 themes of critical importance to the central banking community: subtech and regtech, next generation financial market infrastructures, central bank digital currency, open finance, cybersecurity, and last but not least, green finance. Our work is directed towards practical solutions rather than conceptual research. We build projects as proofs of concepts or prototypes to be delivered to central banks. And in doing so, we are helping them to harness the benefits of technology while understanding its limits and while making them able to choose between technologies. Multilateral collaboration and practical thinking will be essential for building a financial architecture that is future-proof against a large range of shocks. In this context, last year in 2020, the Hub co-hosted the first edition of the G20 TechSprint with the Saudi G20 presidency. Last year's initiative was designed to showcase the potential for new innovative technologies to solve operational problems in the areas of regulatory compliance, regtech, and supervision, subtech. This year, we are happy to team with the Italian G20 presidency, particularly with Banca d'Italia and with its innovation center in Milan, the Milano Hub, on the second edition of the TechSprint initiative, addressing issues in the field of green and sustainable finance. And as mentioned minutes ago by Governor Visco and by Minister Franco, the 2021 initiative will focus on how technological innovation helps financial institutions and investors better collect, verify, and analyze data to understand whether their loan decisions and investments improve or worsen environmental outcomes, as well as how better connect projects and investors. And that's a topical theme. Data and information availability has been highlighted as a major impediment to addressing climate change in recent years. The large number of standards and disclosure frameworks for corporate sustainability and climate-related issues, as well as different definitions and taxonomies, make it difficult to compare climate-related green and sustainability information available to market participants. When firms make information public, they often do so across different reports, making such information very difficult to locate, to collate, and to analyze. Actual disclosure of the potential financial impact of climate and sustainability risks on firm activities remains low and of varying quality. Moreover, market participants often lack the tools they need to properly inform decision-making through a sustainability risk lens. Current practices may not support well-functioning markets and may distort markets if information is used to incorrectly price risks, allocate capital inefficiently, or misrepresent sustainable financial products to financial consumers. So, which technological solutions can be deployed to aid in better capturing and structuring relevant climate-related data? Can the Internet of Things, the IoT, remote sensing devices and satellites be used to expand and automate the collection and reporting of a wider range of data? Can artificial intelligence, machine learning techniques, natural language processing be used? What can be the role of blockchain technologies? Answering all these questions will help shape solutions to the three problem statements of this year's TechSprint. I should highlight that the BIS has been actively contributing to the Green Finance agenda. On the Hub side, as part of our inaugural Innovation Summit in March, I had a conversation with Mark Carney and Christine Lagarde on ways that innovation can support sustainable growth, particularly regarding data collection and analysis. We are currently developing our first green finance project in our center in Hong Kong, and that envisages the development of a prototype for studying the applicability and scalability of tokenized green bonds in small denominations for retail, and that will also integrate real-time tracking and disclosure of green outputs for investors via mobile apps. On the 2nd and 3rd and 4th of June, the BIS will partner with the International Monetary Fund, with the Network on Greening the Financial System, and with the Banque de France on the so-called Green Swan conference on climate finance and climate-related risks. The TechSprint in this context will be instrumental to scan the technological universe to help refine our contribution to the green finance agenda. I look very much forward to working with the Banca d'Italia, and I look very much forward to this year's innovative solutions to the problem statements. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Cœuré. Now, before we move on to the next speaker, we would like to take a short break from the conversation to show you a video. That's a clip on the TechSprint competition. Here it goes.
Are you passionate about creating extraordinary impact in the field of green and sustainable finance? Are you a true innovator? Are you interested in technology? G20 TechSprint 2021 is the contest for you.
Under Italy's G20 presidency, the Bank of Italy and the BIS Innovation Hub have launched the second edition of this international contest to search for innovative solutions to resolve operational problems in green and sustainable finance. If you have what it takes and share the purpose of using your talents to change how things are done, well, this is the place.
Winning solutions to each of the 3 TechSprint problem statements will win attractive cash prizes awarded by the Bank of Italy. You can find all the information regarding the contest on www.techsprint2021.it.
Join forces with other talented people and take part in this challenge. Join the G20 TechSprint 2021.
So, as you can see, it is a very short clip. It was made to be shared and it's already circulating on social media. Would like to ask for the help of all of you who are watching. We would like this video and the G20 21 TechSprint competition as a whole to go viral, because the challenges we are addressing are crucial and they are relevant to all of us. And we need as many talented teams as possible to get involved in order to find the best possible solutions. So please share the video, share the links, follow us on Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Tell your friends and colleagues and make it count. And now, let's hear again from the BIS. This is the time from Mr. Andrew McCormack in Singapore, who will walk us through the workings of the G20 TechSprint 2021 competition in greater detail. Mr. McCormack, you have the floor, please.
Thank you, Angela, and good evening from here in Singapore. Over the next few minutes, I'll provide a very brief overview of the TechSprint problem statements and give some event logistics for participants themselves. As you know, the TechSprint this year is a long-form global hackathon hosted by the Italian G20 presidency, the Bank of Italy, the Milano FinTech Hub, and the BIS Innovation Hub. The event will run from May now through to October and focus on the important themes in green and sustainable finance. As we did last year, and due to COVID-19, the hackathon will be run as a virtual event, allowing participants to compete and showcase their best-in-class solutions from all corners of the world. A key objective of this TechSprint is to provide a global forum for policymakers, central bankers, and technologists to collaborate and to explore solutions in 3 specific areas in the green and sustainable finance space of relevance to the regulatory community. In doing so, participants can win cash awards, as has been previously mentioned, but importantly, engage directly with G20 policy and decision makers. And conversely, for G20 members and central bankers involved, this event really, truly will help inform our thinking on how technology-driven innovation can accelerate positive change. So next slide, please. Oh, sorry, if you could go back one slide. On the first problem, so there's 3 problem statements as has been mentioned, and these problem statements were derived in collaboration with the G20 finance ministries and central banks. At the highest level, these are around data collection, verification and sharing, analysis and assessment of transitional and physical climate-related risks, and better connecting projects and investors. So on the first problem statement, data collection and verification, today there is a perception of information asymmetry in the collection and sharing of environmental data to support environmental risk analysis. This stems from the lack of consistent data methods, disclosure regimes, and the ability to verify self-reported claims and returns. All of these factors can negatively affect confidence in the reliability of aggregate data sets. So can technology solutions such as public web scraping tools, blockchain, IoT, or other non-traditional reporting data contribute to a disclosure ecosystem that supports all stakeholders in achieving timely, transparent, verifiable disclosures while simultaneously reducing the workloads and costs for corporates and reporting entities and respecting data privacy policies in the individual countries? The second problem statement on analysis and assessment of transition and physical risks. One of the main difficulties facing financial and non-financial corporations is the ability to accurately predict the vulnerabilities associated with climate change risks. As the world transitions towards climate neutrality, there is a need to support institutions and relevant stakeholders with tools enabling them to visualize, predict, assess, and monitor transition and physical risks. So can big data ingestion, predictive analytics, and visualization tools be developed to aid both regulators, institutions, corporates to better assess and analyze these risks across different regions, sectors, and asset classes? And the third problem statement, better connecting projects and investors. New technologies can obviously support project proponents, such as small and medium-sized businesses, startups, or even local authorities to raise funds for sustainable projects, while at the same time enhancing transparency and opportunities for investors to finance bigger pools of sustainable projects. What technological solutions can help connect projects and investors to scale up impact? Technology should also be used effectively to track performance and outcomes and be deployable across all geographies. And once again, how can data and information be shared between project stakeholders, financial institutions, central banks, and regulators in different jurisdictions while respecting data privacy policies in the individual countries? So if your company or if you or your company are interested in any of these three problem statements, I would highly encourage you to consider participating in this year's event. But before you rush over to the TechSprint2021.it website, let me give you a sense of the commitment and the timelines for participants. On the last slide, please. And then one more. So as mentioned, registration is now open, and we would welcome interested teams from around the world to register and start preparing to submit your proposals by May 31st. We'll be accepting a maximum of 100 applications for each of these three problem statements. From the applications received, the short list of 21 teams, which is 7 per problem statement, will be announced in mid-June, and these teams will then work through the summer to design, build, and submit their final solutions before September 1st. As we did last year, the winner of each of these categories will be announced at the G20 Finance Ministers event in mid-October, and I would encourage anyone interested to check out our more detailed FAQ on the website. I'll pull out a few highlights though. You do not have to be from a registered company to participate, but your team must demonstrate the ability to have a deployable solution by September 1st. You must register on the TechSprint2021.it website to register, and the proposal deadline is, as mentioned, the 31st of May, 4 p.m. CET. All proposals will be reviewed by organizers and our appointed subject matter expert consultancy, Climate Risk Services, to select the shortlisted teams, each of which would receive 10,000 euros as a stipend towards offsetting the cost of development and participation in the event. The shortlisted teams will be given free access for the duration of the TechSprint to the IBM Cloud platform, and should they wish to make use of this platform and tools. Teams will also be able to avail themselves of a pool of IT mentors appointed by CodeMotion, our platform provider, to support the implementation issues that they may arise. Shortlisted teams will also be invited to present their as-developed proposals in a closed-door touchpoint workshop in early August. This workshop will give teams the opportunity to engage with regulators, national authorities, and other stakeholders face-to-face in a virtual environment, and these authorities will be able to provide feedback on their in-process solution development. And then finally, the final solutions will be judged by an independent panel of experts who will select the winners in each of the three problem statement categories. Each winner will receive a 50,000 euro prize as awarded by the Banca d'Italia and the Italian G20 presidency. In addition to this cash reward, winners will also be invited to showcase their submissions in the fourth quarter of the year at various other fintech festivals hosted by organizers and relevant central banks. So on behalf of the organizers, we sincerely hope that the G20 TechSprint will help catalyze some game-changing technological solutions and help make practical advancements in the critical area of green and sustainable finance. The ball is now in your court as leading innovators and technologists to showcase the art of the possible. And please head over to www.techsprint2021.it, and we look forward to another exciting and successful event this year. Thank you.
Thank you a lot, Andrew, for laying out the process so clearly. I see we are now some 40 minutes into our event, so I would like to ask Deputy Governor Alessandra Perrazzelli to wrap it up for us, also highlighting how the initiative relates to Banca d'Italia's own Innovation Hub. Ms. Deputy Governor, please.
It is an honor to participate in the launch of an initiative like the G20 2021 TechSprint. And I'm very, very happy for the global recognition of the importance of this competition to find new solutions that meet our social and environment protection goals. Let me begin by thanking the Minister of Economy and Finance, Daniele Franco, and the Governor of Banca d'Italia, Ignazio Visco, for their presence and messages. As they have underlined, the Italian presidency of the G20 and its ambitious agenda, People, Planet, Prosperity, is an important opportunity to support the transformation occurring in our economies and to ensure that innovative tools and technologies will become the basis for a more resilient, sustainable, and a greener growth. I would also like to thank Benoît Cœuré and Andrew McCormack, representing the Bank of International Settlements for the strong engagement and close collaboration in successfully organizing this event. As reminded by the previous speakers, the use of new digital technologies and solutions such as distributed ledger technology or artificial intelligence may contribute significantly to meet sustainable goals in financial products and services and make green finance an integral part of the daily lives of people and businesses alike. This phenomenon, called green fintech, is growing rapidly and is becoming a driving force for the creation of a more environmental friendly financial system. There are a number of ways in which fintech and green finance can interact. And for example, the use of artificial intelligence or machine learning algorithms can help in measuring the sustainability and the social impact of investments. Moreover, fintech solutions applying big data analytics may help financial firms in coping with a large amount of information related to ESG factors and in taking decisions that direct capital flows towards more sustainable assets and projects. From the demand side, the digitalization of distribution channels and the spread of platforms can help investors to access green and sustainable investment products, while artificial intelligence can facilitate the offering of personalized financial services. It should not be forgotten, however, the new technologies may also have a significant impact on energy consumption, and that there could often be a trade-off between innovation and the environment. The crypto asset industry is a good example of this delicate balance. On the one hand, the adoption of crypto assets and related technologies could improve the speed and efficiency of financial intermediaries and infrastructures, but on the other hand, it can worsen their carbon footprint because of the energy consumption of some of the underlying processes. The answer, however, is not to block the development of these technologies, but conversely, to trust even more scientists and innovators and support them in improving the environmental and sustainability profiles of their solutions. In order to support the development of efficient technological solutions combining innovation in finance and sustainability, new policy instruments such as innovation facilitators could play a very important role. In fact, innovation hubs may allow the identification of use cases where innovative technologies can help to channel investments into sustainable objectives and to assist the transition to a greener economy. Innovation facilitators also help supervisors and regulators in getting to know innovation from up close and may ease the design of rules that provide the right incentives for the development and diffusion of climate-friendly technologies. In this respect, it is worth saying that at Bank of Italy, in addition to our FinTech channel, which is a web window through which operators can communicate with the central bank on any financial innovation issues, we have recently launched in Milano a new innovation facilitator aimed at fostering collaboration and knowledge sharing between public sector authorities and different stakeholders, and facilitating, among others, the development and spread of a safe and sustainable fintech solutions. That said, I'm convinced that the G20 2021 TechSprint, the projects and the technological solution it will attract, will help in making this year a turning point in the transition towards a greener and more sustainable finance. I expect a successful global hackathon that will attract a wide variety of participants from every country of the planet. Since in Italy this year, we are celebrating the 700th anniversary of Dante, let me say that I hope that this competition will attract modern Ulysses that, as Dante recalls in the 26th canto of the Inferno, are craving for worth and knowledge and virtue, and are eager to discover new lands. At this moment of our history, we need more than ever the brightest and most ambitious minds that will set to work on the challenges that our society and institutions are facing. It is a great pleasure for me to wish you a fair competition. May all of you bring their best, and may the best team win. Good luck.
Thank you very much, Alessandra, and thanks again to all our speakers. We have come to the conclusion of this event. Unfortunately, we do not have time for a Q&A session today, but after all, this was just the kick-off of an initiative which will last several months, and which is part of a constant effort by Banca d'Italia and the BIS to stay at the forefront of innovation and to keep acting as catalysts and promoters of viable solutions to the most pressing problems in the fintech ecosystem, in the best interest of consumers and citizens, in Italy, in Europe, worldwide. So, if you have any question, if you need information, or you want to join the challenge, please do not hesitate to contact us by email, through our website, and through our social media channels, and we'll be there for you. So that's it for today. Thanks everyone again, and good luck to all competitors in the G20 TechSprint 2021 challenge. Goodbye to everybody.
Are you passionate about creating extraordinary impact in the field of green and sustainable finance? Are you a true innovator? Are you interested in technology? G20 TechSprint 2021 is the contest for you.
Under Italy's G20 presidency, the Bank of Italy and the BIS Innovation Hub have launched the second edition of this international contest to search for innovative solutions to resolve operational problems in green and sustainable finance. If you have what it takes and share the purpose of using your talents to change how things are done, well, this is the place.
Winning solutions to each of the 3 TechSprint problem statements will win attractive cash prizes awarded by the Bank of Italy. You can find all the information regarding the contest on www.techsprint2021.it.
Join forces with other talented people and take part in this challenge. Join the G20 TechSprint 2021.